Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final in our Explore AI Summit for the day. This is No One Necessary. We're going to learn all about Magic School, and I am incredibly excited. There is a lot of information you are going to be getting today, so I am dropping into the chat the link to the slide deck that you can go to and grab this so that you can have a copy. If you're like me, you can add all your annotations to it. And anytime that you have questions or comments, you can drop those into the chat and we will answer them as they come. So let's introduce ourselves. So my name is Sarah. I'm going to be doing the kind of back of house work today. I do a lot of work with Logix, cover a lot of different tools, especially Minecraft, but this is a new one for me. So I am really excited to be able to support this session today in the incredibly capable hands of Charity. So Charity, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here today. I have to say it's been a while since I've done a virtual event. I've been immersed in my bubble at Calgary Academy as an instructional design lead. I absolutely love my job. I get to do lots of fun things with teachers, including teaching them about Magic School, which we have at Calgary Academy. So I am coming to you from snowy Bragg Creek, Alberta, just west of Calgary today in Canada. If you're joining us from outside of Canada, that's where we are. And I am on Treaty 7. It's a beautiful, wonderful place, and it's just a magical winter wonderland today.
I am so jealous because all we have is gray skies and rain in Toronto. So I do want to take this moment and thank you for leading into that, Charity, to acknowledge that even though we are meeting in a virtual space today, we are all in physical places. So I'm going to invite all of you to reflect on the lands where you are, and I would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the fact that I am presenting today from the ancestral lands of the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, which includes the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, on whose treaty lands I am very fortunate to be able to live and work today. These lands are covered by the Williams Treaty and the Toronto Purchase under Treaty 13 and the Dish with One Spoon pre-colonial agreement. And Charity, did you have anything you wanted to add to that before we move on?
No, I'm so grateful for those who came before us and established this land. It's just a beautiful place to live. We have some really great neighbors here around Bragg Creek, and I'm very grateful for that.
All right. So we have a little bit more housekeeping and goodies for you. So we want to remind everyone that our website, logixacademy.com, is where you can find all kinds of incredible resources, including lots of professional development and support for all of our fantastic training partners. That includes Microsoft, that includes Google, my friends at Minecraft, and Apple. There are a whole bunch of things coming up soon as well. So I'm going to drop this link into the chat for you as well. So CS Ed Week is coming up really fast. It is in the first, I think, second week of December. And we have tons of events going on for your classroom. So I will definitely be dipping toes into the Hour of Code for Minecraft. It is my favorite Minecraft world that they have built so far. It's kind of like imagine if they had done the Muppet Show in Minecraft. But there are tons and tons of other amazing programs going on. So be sure to check those out. We will remind you about this again. And wanted to let you know that Logix also has a lot of physical STEM support and resources from early elementary all the way to makerspace. You can learn about this at logixacademy.com/products. And one of the things that I find really cool about the Logix approach is it's not just sales. Logix supports you with these tools all through the implementation. If you have questions, if you need people to actually help you set them up, Logix will support you the entire way through. So they don't just sell you a thing and then you're on your own. It is a partnership in the process, which I find a very refreshing approach. And it's really cool watching the Logix team in action. And we also wanted to say today a huge thank you to Microsoft for sponsoring these sessions and allowing us to be here today. And Microsoft is committed to developing teacher skills in AI, not just in Microsoft products, but all kinds of other products are being showcased today. And that was, I think, really cool on Microsoft's part. And just wanted to say shout out to them and thank you for letting us bring all of this amazing professional development to you all. Hi, Tina. Yeah, please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat as well and let us know what you're hoping to get from this session too. That's really going to help as we go. So on that note, I am going to turn it over to Charity.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let us know in the chat who you are, where you are, and if you have experience with Magic School AI. I'd love to hear if we've got some people who have dabbled in it, or maybe some people who are really experienced with it. I've got my Teachers Are Magic sweatshirt on today. I'm all ready to go, so let's jump in. Okay, so today's plan is that we're going to talk about what is this Magic School AI. We're going to talk about the teacher tools inside of it, how to use it, and then we're going to talk about the world of Magic Student AI and how we can leverage this for our students. Let's go. Are you ready, Sarah?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So Magic School AI is a set of tools that uses AI to help teachers be more efficient, create content, add engaging fun activities to their everyday. It's also got some really great tools for students. To date, over 3 million educators have been impacted by Magic School's ability and tools to help lesson plan, differentiate, write assessments, write IPPs, communicate clearly, so much more. You can even do like lame teacher jokes. It's so much fun. You can write songs. Have you seen the TikToks or the Instagrams where teachers are like singing the ABCs to Taylor Swift tunes? You can do that within Magic School AI. It's so great. So some tools, this is just like a really small sampling of the tools that you're going to find in Magic School. You're going to find an email responder. There's a few different types of them, actually. You're going to find a way to make report card comments, a rubric generator, which is one of my favorites. There's writing feedback. There's a unit plan generator. There's a lesson plan. There's text levelers, YouTube video questions, math story word problems, an assignment scaffolder. The list goes on. There's over 60 tools, and they're always making more tools. I just found a new one the other day that I was like, what? This is in here? Amazing. So lots and lots of really great tools. Here's even more tools. An image generator. They're paired with Adobe to do this. It's pretty fantastic. And I have a really great idea for you to use in your classroom that one of our teachers at our school did, and it's fantastic. Like I said, teacher jokes, choice board, Jeopardy review game, quote of the day, gift suggestions, tongue twister, social media posts, song generator. These are the really fun ones in there. So like I said, over 60 magic tools for you to use. Let's talk about some of these and how they make magic. The rubric generator, as I previously mentioned, is one of my favorites. You can determine outcomes and criteria that you'd like to assess, and then attach any files, images, documents that would help Magic School create that reliable rubric. Then add details regarding your assessment scale. So whether you use percentages, points, or a proficiency scale of some sort, you can add that. And then you're going to generate this rubric and export or copy it to a document. And then you get to tweak it to suit your needs and the assignment. And don't worry, I'm going to show you this, okay? Actually, you know what? Let's just hop over right now and I'll show you the rubric generator. So over in Magic School, I've got my rubric generator right here, and it's as easy as this. All those things I just told you, we're going to pop them into all the things here. So what grade are you teaching? Maybe it's 7th grade. I have a 4-point scale. We have a proficiency scale at our school. In this box is where I might upload any existing rubric I have, or maybe my assignment or my curriculum. And then here I'll put more description about my assignment. I can even upload my pieces of my assignment here. And then I'm going to down here, because we have a proficiency scale, I usually go in here and say 1 is equal to beginning, because that's the level 1 on our proficiency scale. We're going to dive in further in a moment, but I just wanted to give you a quick snap of what this is looking like as I talk about these things. And then I just hit generate. Hopping back here, I'm going to tell you some more about some tools. You can differentiate with tools like the sentence starters tool. Any assignment that requires a written response, you can use the sentence starters. So you just simply, it looks very similar to what I just showed you. You're going to insert your question or attach a file or document, and Magic School will give you a few sentence starters to help students begin their answers. This is really great for those students who just kind of sit and ponder and think and can't get anything generated or started. This gets them going. So sentence starters is one great tool to make some magic. And then this one, this is what I was telling you about. Teacher at our school uses the image generator with her grade 4s, you guys. With her grade 4s, she's using this. And she will use this to teach writing. So she has her students take a sentence from a story that they've created in order to create a cover image for their story. So this is an actual example. So a student wrote, "The boy was sitting in his room and was mad at his video game." They input this into image generator, and this is one of 4 images that it generated. So she went back to her student and said, "Hey, I think we can do better. Do you want a better image?" And the student was like, "Okay." So they go forward wanting that better image. They talked about the use of adjectives and adverbs in writing while they were in class. The student rewrote the sentence, hoping for the better image. So the incentive is we want to get the best image possible, right? So then the student wrote, "The boy had dark brown hair and was sitting on his colorful bed, surrounded by video posters on his wall. He was filled with explosive anger at his Nintendo Switch." And this is the new image. That one is so much better in comparison. Amazing. And of course, you can see it's kind of a different type, so you can select different types. This one was more cartoony. This one, she selected, she selected a different type of image to produce, but it produced something so much better. Not only the image, but look at that sentence that a grade 4 wrote. I'm just going to leave this here. This is the grade 4 teacher, what they shared with me about the whole experience with students within Magic School AI. She found so much value, and she'll definitely do this again with her kids. So that's one activity you can get started with right away if you're teaching writing to your kids. How are we doing for questions, Sarah? Are there any in the chat?
There was a question about resources that are available in French.
Oh, there is a translator in Magic School, so I will show you that. Great question. Okay. Let's just talk about a few more things, and then we're going to jump into Magic School. So more magic can happen with a family email. If you have a difficult email to send, maybe you're tired of searching the internet for content to create an assignment, there's the academic content tool. Don't have time to watch that entire YouTube video? I have used this. It's great. The YouTube video summarizer. You know, we can watch it at 2 times the speed, but sometimes this video summarizer is just like the cat's meow. So much better. Find your report card comments are boring and redundant. You can create report card comments within this and save time. I am all for saving teachers time. I've been there. I understand it. You want to save time where you can. All right, let's hop on over to Magic School. And I'm just going to actually share a few more things with you. I forgot I had these slides. Let's talk about best practices before we hop in. Of course, we want to check for bias and accuracy. We teach our kids about this and the bias that can happen within AI. So we're always checking and scanning for bias and accuracy. We always want to remember the 80-20 approach. I even push it. I tell our staff at our school, like, let's talk 70-30. Let's put a little more of us into it. Adding your voice, your touch, review and contextualize. You probably know and are familiar with when students turn in work that is definitely AI. We don't want to be doing that to our students. We want to add our own voice and our little flair to it. So don't forget that. Your judgment matters. Also remembering school guidelines and policies. So check with your school in regards to that if you're not sure or aware of those things, and know your limits. AI isn't always up to date, right? It's trying its best. It's always getting better, but it's not always up to date. And always, 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 I can't stress this enough, protect privacy. Never add personal information of your own or your students. I was doing a session on Magic School at a conference here in Calgary not too long ago, and I was talking about this and saying how ChatGPT will collect anything we put in it to train its model. And someone was like, what? Whoa. And I was like, yeah, you have to be super careful. Like, please never put personal information. Even though Magic School has these wonderful guardrails and it's very safe, we still have to be aware of that and never put that in. So keep these best practices in mind as you practice. All right, now we're going to get started with Magic School. So Sarah's dropped a link in the chat, app.magicschool.ai. If you haven't been in, go ahead and get yourself in either with Google or Microsoft, or create an account otherwise. I do have access to Enterprise, but the free version of Magic School for Teachers is pretty fantastic as well. You should be able to do most, if not all, the things that I'm doing today. So let me jump over to mine, and I'm going to go back right to here. Okay, so once you get in, you're going to see your dashboard. So mine is probably going to look a bit different than yours because I've already added some favorites. But immediately based on what you've put in for your profile, it's going to give you recommendations. So it obviously knows that I am at heart an English language arts teacher. So it is recommending more things geared to that subject area. But down below, you're going to see all the tools. And then right above there, you've got your filters. And you know what? I'm going to just use my custom cursor to increase the size of my cursor for you today. It seems it might be a little small. There we go. So here's all your filters. So if you're just thinking about planning, go ahead and click that filter for planning, and the tools will filter. So you'll see a smaller amount of tools. Just brand new. You want to see what's brand new? Look at all of these that are just brand new. What was the one I saw the other day? Oh, classroom management. This was the one I was like, what? So I put a scenario in there to see what it would tell me I could do to help with classroom management. It was pretty good.
Wow.
Lesson hooks. These are great. If you're like a brand new teacher and you're being evaluated this year or observed, these lesson hooks might be a great thing for you to look into to add to those lessons when you're being observed. I'm just going to go back to all. Once you find some tools that you are loving, like my rubric generator, like my image generator, I go ahead and I click on the star on here. So if I like the worksheet generator or the text rewriter, I can click favorite, and now all my favorites appear at the top, which is fantastic. They're quick and easy for me to access. We love that. Let's go ahead and jump into something so you can see how these work. I'm going to jump into my rubric generator because that's the one I really love. I actually saw on Facebook this morning, there's a group here in Alberta of teachers, and someone was asking about rubrics. And I didn't have time, but I wanted to pop in and be like, MagicSchool AI, use the rubric generator. It's amazing. So when I go in here, this was the one I was in before. I enter my grade level, I enter my point scale, I enter my objectives here. I can also actually maybe grab, I had a teacher the other day, we went to the Alberta Ed website and grabbed the curriculum and added it here. And then the assignment description and my my customization for my rubric. So 1 equals beginning here, 2 equals developing, and so on and so forth. But you know what I'm going to do? I've done all this before. I'm actually going to show you an exemplar that Magic School provides. So right up at the top, anytime you go into a tool, Magic School's like, you want to know how to use the tool? Let me show you a great example. So let me jump into here. How are we doing in the chat, Sarah? Any questions as I start to go through this?
Not so far. I think everybody's engrossed in trying it out.
Awesome. All right. So you can see this exemplar that Magic School has provided, 9th level, 5-point scale, standard or objective to write an argumentative essay, the assignment description, persuade a school board member to approve the building of a park at school in your neighborhood, and then additional customization. And then you just hit generate. So let me go ahead and hit generate. And here we go. So someone was asking about French resources. So here we go. It's creating my rubric for me based on the exemplar within Magic School. So this is how you can test it out, just to see how it works. And then right down here in actions, this is where you can find translate. So you can find your French in here. Let's find that. There we go. And then hit the paper airplane. And so in purple, that's the instruction I've given, and white will be Magic School. And there it's giving me my rubric in French. Do we love that? I
So
think
cool.
we love that. There you go, Tina, a French resource. Awesome, awesome.
How that tool would be so useful if you have students who are new arrivals and who aren't very strong in English yet.
Absolutely, absolutely. We had students come from Ukraine. Obviously, a lot of people did not too long ago. And we've been able to use this translate feature, and the student actually is able to use it within Magic School Student in order to help them. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm just going to jump back to my slide deck. I've given you all the instructions and information about this in the slide deck. So hopefully you've got that bit.ly and you've saved it for yourself. I'm showing you where everything is, but right now I want to give you a moment. I know you guys have probably jumped in. I want you to take a moment to try this. So explore the tools, try them out, check out the exemplars, favorite a couple of tools, and then tell us in the chat what tool you're excited about. Let's give you like 2-3 minutes to give that a shot.
And I have put the link back up on screen if anyone who needs it. It should be at the top of the chat as well.
Fantastic.
Yep, I agree.
Are you ready, Norm's? Wow. I love it. Thanks, Norm. Some other of my favorites in there. Oh, geez. I absolutely love the image generator for sure. I just created, I did a building thinking classrooms task with some grade 8s on the Outsiders, and I created a bunch of images that basically represented characteristics of Ponyboy and Cherry. And the image generator was really good for that. And then the kids had to decide what image is tied to what characteristic or what character trait. And then they had to explain why they assigned it to either Ponyboy or Cherry. It was pretty fun, but the images were great.
That is so cool. I know my experience with image generators lately has been the D&D group that I'm part of. The DM has gotten really good at using image generators to create pictures of the monsters that we're facing.
That's fun. That's fun.
They're having a lot of fun with that one.
And I love that. That's like an outside of education use, which is fantastic.
Yep. Or in education if you're creative. One of my favorite history teachers who was pursuing a degree in archaeology at the time actually led a D&D class at the museum. And all of his like history knowledge and things like that was coming in, and they'd have lessons on like, you know, different types of armor and things for your build and your class, and practical lessons with some of the collections. He was just really cool.
Oh, that's fun. Sarah asked if we can change the language in the vocab list. I'm guessing you're talking about a generated vocab list within Magic School. Absolutely, Sarah. I'll show you that one more time. Within any generation in Magic School, your actions button is going to be where you're going to find your translate feature. Awesome. All right, so let's continue. I've got a lot to share with you, and we have only so much time. So I'd love to hear if you found some favorite tools. Please share them with us in the chat as we go. Okay, so I've already touched on this a bit, the modifying of outputs. Let's jump back into my Magic School so I can show you this live, but just know there's a screenshot. These slides that I have that have this ribbon across the bottom, these are actually from Magic School professional learning resources that they provide, and you can access these within Magic School yourself. You can find these slides. So I've just taken screenshots of them and put them into my slides. So let me jump over here. And let's talk about this actions button. This is where you can modify any generation, right? So I talked about the translate. You can translate to any language there. I'm going to go back to English and hit generate once more. So you can see it's translating the French back to English for me. Oh, Michelle, yeah, I love the sentence starter for sure. Okay, actions. Again, back to actions, you've got questions. So you can go in here and you can ask it to generate multiple choice questions or free response questions. Let's hit free response and see what it says. So again, in purple, that's what I've asked it to do. And now it's generating some things for me. So within any tool, you've got this actions button. You've also got length. You can say, okay, I'd like that shorter or I'd like that longer. You can also say to summarize in one sentence, in a paragraph, or bullet points. Summarize this in bullet point format. It's doing it for me now. And then in the custom, you've got, okay, you can ask it to differentiate. You can ask it to rewrite questions again, or resources. Let's click on resources and see what it says. So in the lesson above, it generates in the box that I want to chat with. They call their AI Raina. So when I'm in this box, I'm chatting with Raina, the chatbot. So it says in the lesson above, build me all the worksheets and resources in detail. I'm just going to go ahead and generate from that and see what it gives me. You'll also notice over in the custom, you can add custom prompts. So if there are things that you would like it to do, you can go in and you can create custom prompts as well. So these are all in your actions button. Okay, back to my deck. Now it's your turn to just give those a try. If you haven't, we'll give you about 2 more minutes here because I know some of you have probably tried this. Maybe try a different tool, hit generate, try out the actions button, have that conversation with Raina. Let me just jump back here because I do want to share one more thing with you about Raina. So after every generation, Raina provides you like some really quick and easy prompts that you can go with. So maybe, like she suggests, can you provide examples of worksheets for each section, or what additional resources? So it's saving you time and typing something that maybe you were thinking about. You can quickly hit that, or you can always chat back and forth with Raina in that message box. And you'll also see you've got that paperclip there. So you can provide Raina with more information by hitting that paperclip in the form of an upload. So PDF, DocX, PowerPoint image, Google Drive, you can pull from there, or your OneDrive, a YouTube video or website at any time in your conversation in this generation, in this tool. You can do those things, which is awesome. So let's give you a minute or two. And Michelle, I'm going to answer your question when we come back, okay? So we have the enterprise version at our school, and we have currently, we just got started with it in September, and we have a staff of, I believe, over 160, and over half of our staff has jumped on board working with it. We get hundreds of generations every month. We've got students working in it and loving it. Magic School is really fabulous.
That is an amazing uptake for a new tool.
It's really great. We've really embraced AI at our school. I'm loving the attitude towards it. Like, it's here to stay. So let's leverage it. We are a DSEP school here in Alberta. So that means we are a designated special education private school. And this kind of stuff is so valuable for students that we teach. It's empowering for them. It's amazing. All right, let's move on. Hopefully you've had a chance to try out those actions. You've got translate, questions, length, summarize, and then of course, some of the custom things. Okay, before I get into Magic Student, I'm going to jump back here because I want to answer Michelle's question about how do these explorations save, which is awesome. So over here on the left-hand side, at any time you can jump back to all of your tools, but that's not answering your question, Michelle. This is going to answer your question. Output history is right here. So if I click on output history, anything that I have done is here, and I can go into any of the outputs that I've done. go back in, edit, continue the conversation, go back to see what I've got, pull things, copy things, export things, whatever I need to do, I can jump back in there. So let me just jump back into, this was a rubric I generated for no fixed address. I had students do a quick response. So here's my rubric that it generated. I just go into edit prompt, and I can go back in and I can go and get some more generations or change things if I want to. So that's pretty fantastic. All of that, again, is over here in your output history. Okay, let's move on to Magic Student, because this is really where a lot of the power lies within Magic School. So yeah, generative AI is here to stay, right? And our students need to understand how to interact with it productively. I tell all the teachers at my school, we need to educate, we need to have conversations about AI, we can't ignore it. So instead of banning it, Magic School AI believes that teaching and practicing responsible usage is the way forward for sure. Magic Student AI is a very protected, safeguarded environment for students to use AI within. We're trying to get our teachers to kind of go this route as opposed to just letting students freely use ChatGPT. We do have Copilot in our school, which is a fantastic resource as well. And within our educational setting, Copilot is safe for our 13 and above because it doesn't train on any data, but we're still teaching kids about inserting private information is a no. All right, so let's learn about Magic Student. Magic School for Students is a set of over 50 easy to use AI-powered tools that it can help students to study for tests, develop research ideas, debate historical figures, and more. Almost any assignment you can think of could be enhanced by these tools. And let me tell you one thing. If I were to go back into the classroom tomorrow, like I'm out of the classroom as an instructional design lead, but if I were to go back into the classroom tomorrow, the one thing I would do right away is in Magic School, I'd set up my classroom for Magic Student, and I would create a chatbot that knows my curriculum. So I'd upload my curriculum to it, and it would be a chatbot that students could go to if they can't access me easily. That just knows everything about everything we're learning about, and they can ask questions. And I'll show you that chatbot builder inside of here. Sorry, I'm just reading Sarah's question. I'm completely new to Magic School. Once you have your Jeopardy game questions, would you have to put that into play using another program? That's a great question. I haven't actually used the Jeopardy game tool. Let's quickly jump in there and give it a try. We have a little bit of time. Jeopardy. And I'm just going to use, once I find it, I'm going to use the example. Oh,
a little more.
There it is. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to use the exemplar to do a quick generation so we can test this out for you, Sarah. Okay. So yeah, so what you would do, Sarah, is I believe Flippity.net has a Jeopardy option where you can create a Jeopardy, and you could take this, put this information into the spreadsheet for Flippity, and then generate a real Jeopardy game to play through Flippity. But yeah, you'd have to put it into another program. Great question. I'm glad we looked that up. Okay, back to my Magic Tools and Magic Student. Oh, Jeopardy Labs. Yeah, that's great too. Thanks, Rachel. Okay, so the magic switch happens when you switch over to Magic Student. So let's do that. I'm going to jump over. I've got this little GIF here in my slide deck for you, but I really like to work live. So right up here, let's hit the magic switch to go over to Magic Student. You'll notice my dashboard now changes to purple, so I know I'm in Magic Student. As a teacher, all of the tools for Magic Student are right here. So first things first, start exploring these tools. Know what they can do for your students, right? I particularly love, like I said, I'd set up a chatbot for my students, right? So you've got different bots. You've got an AI literacy bot, a student support chatbot. You've got an AI resource bot. There should be just a custom chatbot, unless they just changed the name of it and it's now just student support chatbot. Let's go here. Okay, so grade level, let's stick with 6th grade, customized support for the students. So, oh, I see what this one's for. Different, little bit different instead of inserting your curriculum. So I'm actually going to jump back and find that one. Where did it go?
Oh, there it is. Top left.
Yeah, custom chatbot. There it is. Okay. So this is the one I would set up. Okay. So what does this chatbot do? How does it behave? What should it avoid doing? What tone should it respond with? This is where you can really have some fun, but this is where you need to be super thorough. So you would upload your curriculum here, whether it's in your drives or upload a PDF, upload your curriculum there. You'd also upload your curriculum here. It doesn't matter. So what does it do? Well, let's think about this. You are going to be an assistant to the teacher, Mrs. Hellman. You talk to the students like you are a new teacher in their 20s. You don't swear. You don't like negativity. I like to put things like this in. You are very positive and you use slang that the kids use these days. You can put that. You might like that. Don't allow students to deviate from conversation about academic content, because you know these kids are going to ask it about Skibbity Toilet. You just know they're going to do that.
Uh-huh.
And then you can upload your curriculum here and hit generate. And just, so this is just you testing it, right? So this is really cool. So it says, hey there, I'm totally stoked to be your new assistant for Mrs. Hellman's class. I'm here to help you crush your academic goals and make learning super fun. Ooh, emoji. As a young teacher, I'm all about keeping things positive and using the coolest slang. Let's focus on our awesome academic content and avoid any negative vibes. What subject are you working on today? I'm ready to help you level up your knowledge. So this is fantastic. So you've tried this out. You're like, I really like this. I love how this works. So now let's set up a class for our students to work within. So we're already on Magic Student. Now we come over to Launch to Students. So go ahead and click that. So now you're going to create a student room. So I'm going to say launch a new room. Okay, so you give your room a name. Mrs. Hellman's class, 6th grade, max 250 students. You can play with that number if you want. 250 is the most. I don't think we have classes larger than 250. I hope not. Anyway. Okay, so then select our tool. So now let's go find that custom chatbot. Let's add that. So now it's, oh my gosh, here I am like pointing to my screen. Like you can see where I'm pointing. Use your cursor, Charity. So now I've got my custom chatbot up there. I can also go in and add any others. There's that image generator that we might like to use for that writing assignment. I'm going to choose those two, and then I'm going to say next. Inside here, I'm going to now customize my tool. So back to that custom chatbot, you can go ahead and customize it with all those awesome things that we just did. What I love about Magic Student is Magic School gives you this view of this is the side that you are working on. This is the side your students will see. There are a lot of tools out there that don't give you the preview of the student side immediately. So I love this. Okay, so you can give it a name. It just defaults to custom chatbot. Mrs. Hellman's awesome assistant. Okay, build a chatbot from scratch to interact with. You can change the description there. 6th grade, again, you're going to put in your instructions for that chatbot and the knowledge it has, aka your curriculum, perhaps. You probably don't want students to see the instructions you've given it, so you're going to click on that eyeball and you'll notice it's disappeared from this side. You probably don't want them to also see that you've added the curriculum, so you're going to close that eyeball. So now all your students have to do is hit the generate button on this side. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, I'm going to just cancel out of that right now. And then I'm going to jump into my image generator. I want to customize that one as well. Oh, not available to customize. That's right, because there's not much to do. Okay, so I'm ready to launch my room. So I come up here and I say launch room. Doing its magic. This is how you can share it. There's a join URL. So I can click on that. I can copy that link and I can share it however I want to my students, whether it's through Seesaw or Teams. You noticed before that there's a Google Classroom integration, so you don't have to copy this into Google Classroom. However you're sharing this with your students, you could do it that way. More join info right here, Google Classroom or join codes. So you can enter that join code, or your students can enter that join code, and they're in your classroom. Okay. How are we doing, Sarah? Any questions in the chat?
Not recently. I think the last questions were about the Jeopardy.
Okay, awesome. You'll notice in my slide deck too, everything I've just done, I've created a little video for you. So it's there in my deck. Hopefully you have that. Right now, I'm going to go to here. That video I've also embedded down here. So I'm going to give you a moment. I want you to try that. So you're going to launch to students. You're going to launch a new room. You're going to add room details, select some tools to add to the room, customize those tools, and launch your room. Go ahead and give it a try. We'll give you until the bottom of the hour. It's 11:26 in Alberta right now. So at 11:30, I'm going to call you back.
And I shared the slide deck again, just in case anybody needs it.
Awesome. And Michelle, I think I might have answered your question. Let me know if I didn't, and I might need more clarification on what you mean. I'd actually like to give a little special shout out. I see Rachel Rand is here. Rachel is my awesome teacher that did the image generation with her kids.
That's so cool.
Oh, yeah, Michelle, I'm going to get you into a student room soon. Yeah.
So, Charity, was there any tool in particular that you had an aha moment of like, oh, this is a game changer?
I sound like I'm on repeat, but honestly, it is the rubric generator. 100%. You can't imagine how much time it has saved me. I do a lot of creation for my teachers at my school. So that's everything. Well, it can be everything. They can come to me and say, hey, I really don't have time to develop this novel study. Can you help me out? So I will create everything from beginning to end, including assessments, and that rubric generator gives me a really good foundation to go from. And then I can just tweak, like I like to go in and tweak the language and the vocabulary so it fits what we're teaching our students a lot better. But it saves me so much time, right? Like you can sit as a teacher, you can sit and think about how each level is going to look and build upon each other, and the vocabulary that you're putting in. You can sit forever and think about that. But this spits out something that gets you going, gets you really started, and then you just have to do a few little tweaks, which is awesome. So yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I have to say that was probably the first Copilot tool I used, was generate a rubric for me from this assignment.
For sure. And you know what? Like the unit plan or the lesson generator is also great. The first time I ever built a unit using ChatGPT, I was blown away. Like, whoa, you just gave me some really good ideas. And now I've probably saved about 3 hours of planning. Like, unbelievable. We're in a day and age right now where teacher wellness is so huge. Like our teachers need to be well or our students aren't well. And tools like these that can save you time and just put your mind more at ease and give you back a little bit of your life. So important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are almost at the bottom of the hour. Hopefully you've given those a shot. I am going to get you into one of my rooms so you can see what the students see. All right, let's move forward. So when students get in, and you're going to see this once on the next slide, you're going to have a chance, and Sarah's going to drop a link for you. When you get in as a student, it says, whoa, hold on, use Magic School responsibly. It gives you these 5 ways to use Magic School responsibly, and you can hit accept, or students hit accept before going in. So hopefully they do take a moment to read. I know they probably won't in most cases, but you as a teacher can also go through this. While I'm here, I also want to point out, I'm just going to jump back over on the left-hand side in the menu under training in, is it this one? Yeah. In the certification courses, I believe it's this one, you can access a link to a student course. It's a quick little course all about how Magic School works, about using it safely, where students can get Magic School certified. There's even a Google slide template of a certificate that you can print off and give to your students. We did this with all of our grade 9s this year. They did a digital literacy week with me, and we did Magic School, and they all became certified in Magic School. So that's there for you. Okay, so let's get started. Let's see the student side before we wrap up for the day. So in the chat, you're going to have a link to join one of my rooms.
There it is.
And now I have to remember what room it was that I gave you. So I'm going to jump over to my Magic School so I can see you join. So I'm going to go into my classes. And I think, let's see, it's one of these ones. Not that one. Oops. I should have named it better, right? While you're jumping in, I'm going to try to find it. Hopefully I didn't delete it on you. Oops. This should be one. This is the one, I think. Yes, it is. Okay. So as your students populate within here, you're going to be able to see their names. You're going to be able to see what they've been working in, the last tool they worked in, their last message. And then you can also have a status update on them. So while they're in there, obviously it says active, but if I wanted to change that, if they're misusing within, I can pause a student. I can also lock the room on the student so they no longer have access, which is great if they're not using it responsibly, right? Over to the very right on my dashboard for the students, there's student join info in the Timbits, the 3 dots there, or I can remove them from the room completely if necessary. Hopefully it's not necessary. Okay, so I can see here, Rachel has created an initial generation in Idea Generator. I can always go in to see what my students are doing. So Carla, a former student here, she was in here and she was in the character chatbot, and I can unravel that and I can see the purple is Carla's generations. The white is Magic School's generations. I can see the conversation that the student has been having with the chatbot. I'm going to ask if anyone is brave and daring, if in a generation you drop a swear word or something very inappropriate. I would love to show you what happens when that happens. And if no one's brave enough, I can show you an example. But we will know immediately if someone has done it. Anyway, let me know in the chat what you're thinking of the student side of things while you're in there. If you're liking how it works and how it looks, if you think that you would definitely do this with students, that would be great to hear. Okay. Oh, Rachel. Rachel is a student that has not been very good. Okay. So see what happened if you come back to my screen here. Okay. So yeah, Michelle, I'll leave it open so you can continue after. Okay. So I've got a flag. So this tells me this student has not been very appropriate in here. So as soon as you hear that, you might want to pause that student. But you can come in here and you can see the yellow flag appears on Expand My Idea. So oh my, a swear word has been used. So for me, I can go ahead and I can delete this thread. It's going to delete from here, but I still, actually, I did the wrong thing there. I should have deleted something different. My apologies. Let me go into Michelle's and try that again. Swear word warning here coming at you. So, okay. So let me go down here. This is what I want to delete. I want to delete this, not the thread. So are you sure you want to delete this message? Yes. Okay. So the message is deleted. Generally, okay, this isn't doing what I want it to. Generally, yeah, so it keeps it, sorry. I can still see that on my end, but it's gone from her end. So I can use that to go back to my, my admin or parents and say, listen, your student has not been using AI properly, and have that discussion with your student. Okay, so I'm going to leave that open if you wanted to keep trying this after the session. We're nearing the end of our session, so I'm just going to continue. If there are any questions about Magic Student right now, I can answer them before we move on. Don't worry, Michelle, it's all good. It's for the sake of learning that you did that. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay, so in my slide deck, you'll also see I provided you, with some screenshots. So you can see what happens. You can see that flag there. You can see you have actions when that happens. Pause or lock your student out. And then with each room as well. So back in my rooms here, I can change the status of my rooms to pause or to locked. And then once I pause it, it moves over to the pause tab or the locked tab. You can always go back and reactivate those, or you can see all your classes at once. So there's my active ones. This slide goes a little deeper into when you get a flag on the message. The flagged input displays an output history, and pausing and locking rooms. So this is what the student sees when you pause. Your teacher has paused your room. You can still see the screen, but you can't interact with the AI tools right now, just so your students know. Okay, let's wrap up here because I know that Sarah has a few things to share with you as well, and I want to save time for that. On the final slide of my deck, or nearing the final slides, I have provided you with some resources. So all you have to do is click on some of these things. I provided a screenshot to show you that on the left-hand menu of Magic School, you have your training. So there's a ton of resources in here. So some of those slides I was talking about right there in the PD resources library. They have a YouTube channel. I've also linked that right here on my slide for you. They're also on Blue Sky. Who's jumping over to Blue Sky? I recently joined it. It's looking fabulous, great for educators. Get on it and form your PLN in there. I've also provided you a link to something I created at my school. I do something called Potty PD. This is done by many educators around North America. I've seen it, or Learning in the Loo, it's been called. So I do a Potty PD at my school. So we have on the back of the stalls in the staff washrooms. Monthly, we put up some learning for teachers. You're in there, you might as well get educated while you're tinkling. So this is one of the Potty PDs shared about Magic Student. So it's a quick little infographic about how to get started with Magic Student. And that's linked in my slide deck for you. A couple other things, a Magic School over on the left-hand side. If you want to show Magic School some love, you can click here and it takes you to here to share some love on, I believe this is a Padlet. You've also got Share the Magic through their socials and Student AI Literacy link there as well. So make sure you know that those are there. And those are my resources. I want to say thank you so much to Magic School for some of those slides that I had in my deck, for providing those. They're awesome and they save me time as I create. And thank you to all of you for joining me today. Like I said, I joined Blue Sky. There is my Blue Sky if you're on it. And I can take any final questions. And I also want to say a huge, huge thank you so much. Thank you, Rachel, for allowing me to share your idea. It's brilliant. And thank you, Sarah, for being with me today. I appreciate it.
It is my pleasure. I have learned so much. So I love being able to moderate these sessions because I just get to like kid in a candy store, learn all of the things. So friends, please do put in any questions that you have. While you are doing that, I am going to remind everyone that we do have so many things coming up for CS Ed Week coming up in December. So definitely check out some of those. There are tons of different activities to suit pretty much any classroom. It's really nice to drop in. Logic's facilitators will lead your students through the activity. You just get to sit back and learn along with your students and do classroom management. So please do join us for that. And finally, I would like to leave you with this link, which I am going to grab and drop into the chat, which is to our feedback form. So if you can take the last, how many minutes are left? 3.5 minutes to fill in that feedback form that I have just dropped into the chat, we would really appreciate it. Logix does look at them and contact us about what's in the form. And it really does help us know how we're doing, what other kinds of PD would be really useful for you. So if you really like this and you want to learn more about specific areas of Magic School, put that in the feedback form and it could lead to more professional development. And finally, if you go to logicsacademy.com, in addition to the live events, there are tons of other events going on throughout the year, and those are constantly being generated. So do check back often and see what new goodies, new professional development, new workshops, new courses are available. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. If there are any final questions, please do put those in. Oh, good, Michelle, you found the feedback form. That is great. And I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day.
Yes, have a great day. Michelle, hopefully you're not getting too much snow in Edmonton.
All right. Have a great one, everyone. Hopefully we will see you at the next summit.